and welcome to another exciting edition of Sports Extreme. My name is Pascal Mfonabong. Today on Sports Extreme, we'll be looking at the quarterfinal game involving the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Angola at the 34th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations happening in Abidjan. Today, we're going to be looking at how the Super Eagles of Nigeria will fare against this exciting Angola side. I'm doing this alone. I've got with me in the studio Abiola Odunuga Zlatan. Hello, Zlatan. How are you doing?
How are you, Pascal? We were here together the last time to talk about our game against the Cameroon, and thank God it went well for the Super Eagles. Once more, we are here to talk about our quarterfinal match against Angola, and we're hoping for the best.
Okay, yes, the best is what every football fan in Nigeria will be looking forward to. Let's go back and look at the game we played against Cameroon. For you, what was the highlights of that game for you?
That's to be Victor Osimhen. The way he was running around from the first minutes or the first second to 90 minutes, it was instrumental to that victory, and that's why after the game, it was not surprised that they had to take his test,
a random drug test,
because it was unbelievable what he did in that game, and so we hope that the others can look up to him, and especially the forwards can look up the like of Simon Chukwueze, what's his name again? Yeah, they can see Osimhen what he's doing, and they will put more effort. And against Angola, we hope that they can do more. That's Simon and Lukman, of course.
Okay, if there's anything that worked for the Super Eagles of Nigeria in that game against the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, is the fact that the defense line of the Super Eagles of Nigeria stood strong again. Sanusi Zaidu, Calvin Bassey, William Trustekong, Semi Ajayi, and of course Ola Aino. They look like a formidable force right now.
Yeah, very formidable. And I saw a tweet where someone said, "So what happened before the Nations Cup and now?" Because before the Nations Cup, we played some qualifiers, World Cup qualifier, where we lost to these smaller sides. We went to Zimbabwe and drew. I think we lost 1-0. And so we're wondering what happened between then and now. And we have to give credit to our coach, Joseph Pesero, for what he has done. He has made sure that the back line is very solid, because he has looked at this tournament, he has looked at the teams, he has seen the likes of Cape Verde, Angola, Mauritania, these smaller sides scoring goals with ease. So he thought that, okay, let's show up our defense and see if we can keep things tight and see if we can get one goal and just get away with it. And so far, so good for the Super Eagles.
Well, it's been looking really good. I feel the Super Eagles are about the best team in this tournament in terms of goals conceded. I mean, just one goal all through this tournament. I mean, do you feel that the coach should, stick with the same approach, not, try to tinker anything as we look forward to the game against Angola?
Of course, at this stage, it would be madness to change what
to change a winning team.
It doesn't make any sense. So it makes sense that going forward or the next game, he's going to stick with what he has been using, the same team, the same formation, the same players. And last time out, we saw Chukwueze drop to the bench. This time around, he's going to stick with that formation against the same players against Cameroon, because I think that was our best performance so far in the tournament. So he's going to stick with that formation, the same players, the same tactics.
All right, let's look at the midfield. I mean, Frank Onyeka seems to be doing a whole lot in that Super Eagles midfield, making sure that the defense is well protected. Yes, Alex Iwobi might have not lived up to the expectation of many, football fans in Nigeria, but it's been wonderful. Frank Onyeka, Alex Iwobi in the heart of that midfield, and then looking at our forward players, Ademola Lookman, who sometimes, if you notice in that game against Cameroon, had to drop deep, to pick the ball and connect the runs of Victor Osimhen, as well as Moses Simon, who many would say has not been really fantastic, but they are getting the job done.
Yeah, that's the most important part. They're getting the job done. They're scoring the goals. Not many goals anyway, but then they're scoring the goals. They're not conceding.
Yeah,
that's enough. And for Onyeka, we're using a two-man midfield of Onyeka and
Alex
Iwobi, and that makes there's a whole lot for them to do. That's Alex Iwobi and Onyeka, and just like you said, Iwobi has not been fantastic so far. So much of that job in the midfield has been on Onyeka, and we have to give him a lot of credit. He has been his work has gone unnoticed, because he has the one holding that midfield, making sure that he's protecting the defense, also making sure that the likes of Victor Osimhen, the front line, have this confidence that they
can go forward.
Once you get the ball, they can run forward, and even when we're with the ball, they can, they know that there's Onyeka who can just, just clear up this mess.
Yeah.
And so far he has been doing the job.
Okay, let's look at that midfield again. Do you think, as we look at, I mean, as they play the game against Angola, there should be some changes? Maybe bring in an Al Hassan Yusuf if he's fully fit in place of Alex Iwobi. Do you think that sort of change should be made as we, play the game against Angola, or you just maintain it, Frank Onyeka and Alex Iwobi, or bring in an Al Hassan Yusuf, because this Angolan side are a team that are full of running, they've got plenty of energy, they feel they can take on the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Do you think we should tweak or just remain that way?
Just like I said, so far I think Iwobi has played all the game, barring the first game against Equatorial Guinea, because of the injury to Al Hassan Yusuf. So with him in the team, we've done pretty well.
Okay.
So Al Hassan Yusuf coming back into the fold, I don't think it will start straight away. I think Pesero wants to stick with that what he has used so far in the last formula. 3 games. Yes, he might not want to tweak it and just let them play and see how it goes. And probably when the game is going, if he feels that okay, let me bring this guy. Maybe if we're leading, let me bring this guy and just stop the runs of this Angolan team, then Al Hassan Yusuf can come in. Okay,
and let's look at the forward play. I mean, our attacking players, it's been Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, and of course Moses Simon. So far, so good. It's been what it is in terms of attack. We don't score so many goals. In fact, it was interesting to know that Nigeria could get as much as 2 goals against and then Cameroonian side, and the build up to both goals look really good. And so the focus again has to be on Victor Osimhen. He's not scoring the goals, but he's getting the job done. He's putting the defenders into a whole lot of work. He seems like he can take on all of the defenders to himself. He can shoulder the weight of that attacking line and allow the players running from the flank to score the goals.
Yeah, for a while in that game, for a moment at the beginning, it felt like what we've seen before in the previous games. But then as the game went on, they got themselves. That's Osimhen, Simon, and Victor Lookman. Sorry. So they started stringing those passes together, getting linking up each other, and so you feel that Pesero finally gets that front 3. So it's good to stick with that front 3 over Osimhen, Moses Simon, and Lookman. And the 2 goals, like you said, fantastic play. Especially the first one. Sorry, the second goal.
The second goal.
The second goal. It was a fantastic teamwork, team movement. So you think that he's going to stick with that front 3 of before we've seen Chukwueze
coming from Moses Simon
or even Lookman at the time was on the bench. But I think this next game against Angola is going to stick with that front 3 because for the first time in that tournament, the front 3 actually played well.
Okay, fantastic. Now let's look at our fullbacks. I mean, Sanusi Zaidu, Ola Aino, they look really impressive going forward. As we look forward to playing, or rather the Super Eagles of Nigeria look forward to playing Angola, do you think we might not see enough dashing runs from these players? I mean, Ola Aino and Sanusi Zaidu, because of the sort of threat that this Angola side actually produces?
Yeah, of course. We've seen Angola so far in this. We've seen Gel Sendala, we've seen Mabululu, and the third guy, Gerson. These guys, the athleticism is top notch. They're full of running and they can score goals. So you would expect Pesero is a pragmatic coach. So you can expect him to tell the likes of Olaino and Zaid Yusuf to take their runs going forward.
Okay.
So you might just tell them that, okay, guys, we're playing against Angola. We're in the quarterfinals. We cannot underrate them. Let's sit back a bit. The 2 wing backs. You just tell them that your position should not be more than this place. Not go forward. Just leave the running to the likes of Simon
and Lookman
and the Seamen, and of course it will be too. So in that game against Angola, we might not see Olaino and Zaid Yusuf.
Sanusi
Zaidu. Yeah. We might not see the both of them going forward, running forward like we've seen previously.
Okay, and that's because they just want to check the runs. But it's an overload. If you look at that setup of the Super Eagles, sometimes Frank Onyeka is either defending from the left-hand side of that midfield or the right-hand side. So he provides a lot of width in terms of, how many men Nigeria has, at the back. So should they be too careful? I mean, knowing full well that Frank Onyeka will always be there to track back and all of it.
Okay, like I said, at this junction we have to be very, very careful.
Okay.
So with the likes of these three forward that were mentioned before for Angola, they're always coming forward, they're always running, and even their midfielders, they're full of running. We saw them against
Namibia.
Against Namibia. We saw what they did. Even with 10 men, they were still going forward. They were still better than the Namibians. So you're going to expect the likes of Onyeka. That means if you're with the ball, as we've seen so far in this time, if we're without the ball, we are defending with, say, 7 men. That's the 5-man defense. Onyeka and Iwobi, and even the likes of Lukman and Simon, we draw back a bit. Then you see Osimhen somewhere in the middle, looking for scraps to feed on, and then launch an attack.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the same setup against Angola, and the only thing we just hope is that they keep focus, they keep what they've been doing to they keep it at 100% or even more. Because if they feel that, okay, this is Angola, we've been in Cameroon, we've been Ivory Coast, and they just feel that, okay, let's relax a bit, we might get punished.
Okay, well, a couple of players from the Super Eagles camp, they've come out and say, hey, let's not, treat this game with kid gloves because it just might turn out to be a shocker. So do you think that's the idea? Look at this Angola side and say, hey, we're here to do our business, and our business is irrespective of if you're a big country or a small country. We just want to, get all 3 points and qualify for the semifinals.
Of course, they've seen what happened in this tournament so far. The top teams, they're all out.
Egypt is out. Cameroon is out.
Ghana, Senegal,
the holders, Senegal
Algeria,
is out.
Tunisia, they're all out. So we're left with ourselves and Cote d'Ivoire. That's the top teams in African football. So they know that they've been upset. They know that for sure, and I think that is why Jose Peseiro has adapted or has adopted these tactics of sitting back and soaking up the pressure and then launching counter attacks. So if we're going to continue with that, which I think we will, I think we have a chance against the Angolans. Angolans are one of the dark horses before the tournament started, and now that all the favourites are out, of course
they stand a chance.
They see themselves
fancy
all the teams level fancy their chances. So we have to be very, very careful, do our jobs defensively, and see if we can get one goal.
Okay, yes, do our job defensively and see if we can get a goal. The thing about the Super Eagles in this competition has been, they've not been able to take their chances so well, but they face an Angolan side who, at some point, they've considered goals in this tournament.
Yeah.
Yes, it means that their defense can be exploited. What is your message? When you get the chance, score the goal, or you miss a couple of chances and it might come back to haunt the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Definitely, as it is in every football game, you have to take your chances. If you don't, you might come back to haunt you, especially if you're playing against a quality side. So with the tactics we are playing, of course, we'll definitely get ourselves into promising spaces.
Always.
That's the likes of Lukman and Simon especially. So the thing now is, we will then make use of those spaces very well and give those final passes, those killer passes to Osimhen, or those crosses, and those pinpoint. Those crosses have to be pinpoint for Osimhen to score. He has not scored. He has scored
just one goal.
Just one goal so far. But then he has done a whole lot more.
He's getting the job done. Yes.
Yeah. So exactly. So you feel that in this game against Angola, we have to make use of those spaces, because, like we said, if we don't make use of those spaces, no matter how our backline, how tight it is, even the minutes of defense that we've seen so far in football, they concede goals.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. A contact, penalty for them, they score goals.
Free kick,
and they score. They score. And if we're not taking our chances, we might lose. So the chances we get, we have to take them. One goal, it's enough.
Okay, one goal. One goal, as Zlatan said, is enough. But let's look at still with the Super Eagles. Francis Ozor or Stanley Wabele. We're not certain who will man the stakes in that game. But if it were up to you, what would you do? So many Super Eagles fans, football fans in the country, are not confident about Francis Ozor being, the man in front of goal. They'll be hoping that Stanley Wabele will be fit enough to play in that game.
Yeah, I saw a report this morning where they said Stanley Wabele is fit to play for that game. So that's a huge boost for the Super Eagles and even for the fans, because just like you said, Francis Ozor, we got some calls after the game against Cameroon, and you can see the fans, they were not They were not confident about Francis Uzor. But then you feel that with our backline, even with Uzor, if our backline can remain focused and the way they've been so far, you feel that he might not have much to do in goal, just like Nwabali in the last 4 games. Cameroon didn't have any shot on goal. So if you can continue with that, even the keeper might just be there just for being there. But then Stanley Nwabali is back according to reports. So tomorrow you see Stanley Nwabali.
Okay, hopefully. For this Angola side, as we wrap up, Mabululu, Gelson Dalla, between the two players, there's 7 goals. Gelson Dalla has 4 goals. Mabululu has 3 goals. I mean, so that side is full of, goals and that's it. Are you worried about the fact that both players, have got 7 goals in between the two of them?
I think for the first time we're playing against a team that have that boast a real threat. We played against Cote d'Ivoire. Their strikers were not. Sebastian Haller was injured.
Yeah.
Nicolas Pepe was on the bench, so there was nothing in
We're
front
able
of
to
them.
contain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Against Cameroon, Vincent Abuka was injured. The striker is it Gary or Gary? I don't know his name. So we've not really played against a formidable attack. But I think for the first time we're playing against one. That's Mabululu, Gelson Dalla, and the third guy, Gerson. These guys are sharp. They're feet. They can run. They can cause havoc. So I think for the first time, maybe this might be our first real test. That's the defense.
Okay.
So we'll see how it pans out tomorrow.
Okay. Between both sides, I mean, in the past, if you check head to head, I mean, the scoreline has never always been above 1 goal. I think the highest we've seen between these two sides is just 2 goals. So sometimes it ends in a draw, sometimes 1-0 or I'll put you on the spot. What do you think will be the outcome when the Super Eagles of Nigeria face Angola?
Yeah, just like you said, it's been the fixtures has produced
very few goals.
And I can remember vividly last time that qualifier we played that year, World Cup qualifier for Germany.
All right, Zlatan, I'd like to put you on the spot right now. And what do you think will be the outcome of the game involving the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Angola? If you look at both teams head to head, both teams have not produced so much goals. I mean, sometimes ends 1-0. The highest we've seen is 2-0, 2-1, as the case may be. So, what do you think will be the outcome of this game if you had to predict the match?
Okay, so based on what we've seen so far, 8-8, 1 goal, 2 goals, and Angola they've always been a very tough nut for us to crack.
Okay.
Almost like our Achilles heel, but then we hope that tomorrow we're going to do get the job done because we have to. They have to also, but then I'm just seeing maybe 1 goal in that game. I don't know where it's going to go to. Who's going to score the goal? But I know maybe just 1 goal in the game. Okay. 1-0 to Angola or 1-0 to Nigeria.
Well, it's going to end with just a goal. It could be for the Super Eagles of Nigeria or for Angola. Wow. Okay, so you heard Zlatan there. I mean, the Angolan side, they've been boosted. Their morale has been, boosted. I heard they offered them, prize money. At some point, I thought they offered them some mobile phone, mobile device.
Free internet for a year.
Free, so anything just to ensure that they get into this game with so much confidence to face the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Do you think that might, added some sort of motivation for them as they play the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody likes incentive, so that would definitely ginger them to play. But I think I saw it this morning. So I think the Super Eagles too, they got was it
$30,000
each?
Yeah.
Right. So both teams, both set of players, they are going into that game with a lot of morale. And apart from that, they're playing for their country. Regardless of what they're getting, they play for their country. They want to get to this semi-final. In fact, they want to win the trophy. So that's enough. That's enough incentive for them to go into that game and win the game. And so, of course, it will boost their morale.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of the program Sports Extreme. We hope that by the next time we're standing here to analyze the Afcon Cup of Nations, especially with our focus on the Super Eagles of Nigeria, we'll be here to say yes, that the Super Eagles of Nigeria has made it to the semi-finals of the 34th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, which is holding in Abidjan. My name is Pascal Mfonabong, saying many thanks for watching.
Yeah, my name is Odunga Abela Zlatan. It's been nice here with you, Pascal Mfonabong.
All right. Bye for now.
Back in again to Bruno Langa.